Shabbat Shalom. This is Rabbi Cat from Beit Tikkun, Synagogue Without Walls. And here I am again this week to share some musings about this week's Torah Parsha, or portion, the Parsha that we read every week. And this week it is Chukat. Last week we read Parshat Korach, in which Korach challenged Moses' power. During our Torah study, I spoke about the power of speech, vulnerability, and truth. Korach, I argued, spoke his truth, but did so with anger and accusations. And Moses responded in kind. Either of them could have chosen to speak from a place of deeper vulnerability. Instead of feeling maligned and attacked, Moses could have responded with curiosity, compassion, and empathy. Let's just play for a minute here. For example, he could have said, "You sound really distraught. We are stuck wandering in the desert, exhausted and deflated. And now, Korach, you will not even live to see the promised land. Are you feeling hopeless, maybe even enraged? Do you think that you and others may have better ideas for how to get us to the promised land? Are you wanting more shared power and more people to share their ideas so perhaps we can change this outcome? I, Moses, am actually tired of holding the whole community together all by myself and would love to have more people sharing responsibility. I was raised in Pharaoh's castle, so the only model I have for community and society is a very hierarchical model. I'm probably imposing that on our community here. What do you think we should do?" Okay, that's fun, but Moses did not do that. In this week's Parsha Chukat, we read that Miriam dies and the people begin complaining because they cannot get water. Miriam was a source of water for the community. Moses and Aaron fall on their faces, and Yod-Heh-Vav-Heh tells Moses to take his staff and speak to the rock to bring forth water. Moses gathers the people before the rock and says to them, "Listen, you rebels, shall we get water out of this rock?" And he then proceeds to strike the rock 2 times. Moses and Aaron are told then that because of their actions, they will not be able to enter the promised land either. They too will die in the wilderness. What did Moses do that was so terrible? The rabbis offer a few explanations. First, Moses spoke to the people with contempt. He referred to them as rebels. His frustration and exasperation got the best of him, and rather than understand his fears and thirst, he lashed out at them. Second, he lashed out in frustration at the rock and struck it twice instead of speaking to it as Yod-Heh-Vav-Heh had commanded him. And third, he said to the people, "Shall we," meaning Moses and Aaron, "get water out of this rock?" Instead of making it clear to the people that the source of sustenance and life comes from the divine, Moses elevated himself and Aaron as the givers of life's resources. Moses did not get to the promised land because he had still not learned the importance of both nonviolent speech and nonviolent action, and because he got haughty and full of himself. This is perhaps Moses' greatest challenge and failure. When he lived in Pharaoh's house, he struck out and killed one of the taskmasters who was beating a Hebrew slave. Throughout his life's journey, Moses did not learn the power of words to change minds, move hearts, and create miracles. And he was at times full of himself. Maybe one of the lessons of this story is that we need to find within ourselves the path to nonviolence in our words and actions, and also to humble ourselves and recognize that we cannot bring forth transformation and the waters of life all by ourselves. It takes all of us. If and when we do that, individually and collectively, we can, and dare I say will, reach the promised land. Shabbat Shalom. If you'd like to join us for Shabbat services, which we love, either in person or on Zoom, you can learn more and register in the link below. We gather together again on Saturday, July 20th. Thank you so much. Shabbat Shalom.